It's become an all too familiar scenario. Innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire of an active assailant. Often, their only reaction is one typically learned from a very young age, such as a school fire drill, earthquake, or tornado drill. Duck, cover, lockdown. This is AndersonStrong, and over the next several minutes, we're going to tell you about a revolutionary approach to an all-hazards training that's turning victims into victors.
315 and 314 for a shooting at Century Theaters. 14.
There are reports of an active shooter at the Naval Reserve Center.
And we continue to follow the developing news on the massacre at Fort Hood, Texas.
30 people believed to be killed on the campus of Virginia Tech University.
Breaking news out of Charleston, South Carolina. 9 people shot dead inside a historic church.
Tonight of 2 law enforcement officers from different departments who shot a man early this morning. It literally happened in their backyard, right outside the Greenville County Law Enforcement Center around 3 a.m.
In the aftermath of some of the nation's most horrific acts of violence, the realization that an active assailant situation could occur virtually anywhere provided the impetus for Anderson County Emergency Services to develop a program intent on empowering people who live, work, and play in the area to not only survive a critical incident, but to understand options that can improve the likelihood of their survival. The AndersonStrong Initiative is a multifaceted approach that includes active assailant training, emergency medical responder training, safety walls, and ongoing video instruction. While other programs exist in South Carolina and across the nation, the AndersonStrong Initiative is unique in that it does not offer just a single approach to possible events. Our comprehensive program offers participants access to numerous options that enhance the potential for survivability, not only for the individual, but for those with whom they may be caught in a crisis. More than 2,500 Anderson County residents have participated in the AndersonStrong training program since it officially launched last summer. Partnerships between county council, school staff and district administration, businesses, houses of worship, nonprofits, the South Carolina National Guard, and many other community organizations have been necessary for the program to realize its potential. Those who have already attended come from all walks of life and socioeconomic backgrounds. Most arrive with no understanding of what they are about to encounter, but leave to become the program's greatest ambassador.
Actually, I know it's training, but it kind of threw me off because, like you said, I heard a gunshot, but I knew it's training. And I just didn't know what to do. I felt a whole lot better just knowing that you was capable of doing something. I mean, because you never know when a tragic event gonna take place. So I think everybody should be aware of this.
So what exactly is the AndersonStrong Initiative? The first aspect is a workshop where participants receive instruction in effective communication to in-house personnel and law enforcement, barricade techniques should lockdown be employed, countering options, evacuation procedures, and basic life support measures. It's not a strict regimen of must-dos, but instead, those receiving instruction gain knowledge and skills that make them capable of self-sufficiency.
You don't have to do one step to the other. Just as long as the main thing is to what did you tell you this morning? Survive, evacuate.
Leading others to safety and giving aid that will prolong life until more highly trained emergency responders arrive. The second aspect of the AndersonStrong Initiative has resulted in approximately 75 county employees and sheriff's deputies receiving advanced life support certification through the American Safety and Health Institute's Emergency Medical Responder course. The 48-hour course is designed to provide non-EMS responders, including government, corporate, law enforcement, and others, with a level of training comparable to a professional first responder, but not quite as advanced as an EMT or paramedic. The course includes classroom instruction, skills evaluation, and successful passage of a written exam. Not only has AndersonStrong provided a force multiplying effect across the county with an increasingly trained population, but the combination of skilled emergency responders and necessary response equipment means Anderson County is better prepared to handle crisis situations on a level that is second to none. When a cardiac emergency or other critical incident occurs, locating an automated external defibrillator, or AED, can help save a life. To address this critical need, safety walls have been installed in county buildings, schools, businesses, and a host of other locations, including county-owned vehicles. In the 2015-16 fiscal budget, a forward-thinking Anderson County Council earmarked nearly $35,000 to provide not only the training for instructors, but also the resources and supplies necessary to make this program a success. To date, 15 AEDs have been placed across the county in public buildings and county vehicles to ensure critical, life-saving equipment is available to those trained in its use should an emergency arise.
Today, Anderson County remains proactive and they received new AEDs, automatic electronic defibrillators.
Stay calm. Follow these instructions.
They're going to be distributed through the sheriff's office into deputy vehicles.
First one.
Thank you.
They will also be placed in county buildings.
It saves lives.
Sheila Kaiser is a paramedic and training coordinator for Anderson County. She says the AEDs can help someone before paramedics arrive, and that's why the county is working to get them everywhere.
Every minute that you go without CPR or an AED, you have 10% less chance to survive.
The AEDs, along with first aid trauma kits, tourniquets, and tactical extraction sleds, provide a versatile cache of rapid emergency response equipment. While there is still much ground to cover in meeting the needs of our community, the AndersonStrong program has made great strides in creating a safer, more resilient community by developing this training and making resources readily available to its citizens. Finally, recognizing that not every person is able to attend a daytime workshop or classes lasting several days, the Emergency Services Division applied for and received a $5,000 grant from the South Carolina Emergency Management Division for the development of an instructional video that will provide a brief overview of options available to persons who find themselves in the midst of an active assailant situation. While this video will not be a complete instructional package, it will provide viewers with vital survival options. The video is scheduled for completion this fall and will be available free of charge to those residing or working in Anderson County. Now that you know what the AndersonStrong Initiative is, let's take a quick look at how it's been implemented. The program started with county employees working in the various departments and eventually captured the attention of members of the South Carolina Army National Guard following the shooting at a recruiting center in Tennessee.
In July, I think it was July of 2015, there was an active shooter event at a recruiting center in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Anderson County absolutely stood up. We didn't go to them, they came to us and said, you know what, you have a great National Guard unit. We know you, we work with you, we care about you. We have a class, an active shooter class that we'd like to provide for you. Taylor Jones and his crowd came in. I brought in soldiers from not only Anderson, but I truly did bring them from Clemson, Seneca, and Easley to participate in the exercise. They were absolutely professional, brought about changes in mindsets in the National Guard.
One exceptionally positive byproduct of AndersonStrong's success has been media outlets sending their own reporters to participate in the training.
The Anderson County Emergency Services Division is offering free training, teaching you how to fight back even if you don't have a weapon. WYFF News 4's Liz Loheis went through that training tonight.
The instinct for many is to stay put and obey the shooter.
People that freeze in place die.
If you had to run, would you know where to go? Jones says situational awareness is key. Always be thinking where you would go and what you would do if there were an active shooter. Jones also emphasized the importance of having a safety wall, equipped with a first aid kit, fire extinguisher, and an AED.
Be Anderson strong, South Carolina strong, and United States strong, and fight back.
But success isn't measured by sound bites or media hype. It plays out in the real world where people are impacted on a daily basis in life and death situations. Just 2 weeks after an emergency medical responder class, one student's life was saved at an Anderson area middle school when a quick-thinking school resource officer jumped into action as a student choked on a piece of food in the school's cafeteria.
Every day is a busy day for Lakeside Middle School Student Resource Officer Deputy Sean Davis.
Walk the halls, check doors, check people walking the perimeter, things like that.
And each day, he spends every lunch hour trying to learn the names of his students.
My main job is to build a good rapport with the kids. Just try to, if they need me, I'm going to be there for them.
Wednesday, he was there at exactly the right time.
Normal lunch, noticed a little commotion coming from the end of the table, got up to find out what it was, and I could tell the kid was trying to get something removed from his throat.
A piece of cheese became lodged in a boy's throat.
Asked him if he was okay, and I could tell he wasn't getting no air.
That's when Officer Davis moved quickly. He performed the Heimlich maneuver on the boy 4 times.
I think God puts us in places that, if He puts us there, and that's where He needed me at that day.
Before the school year, the deputy was trained and certified as an emergency medical responder. And after only 2 weeks in the school year, it's already paying off.
The success of the AndersonStrong program hasn't just been limited to law enforcement personnel. In fact, because of the training received by employees of TTI, makers of household name brand products such as Ryobi, Milwaukee, Hoover, Oric, and Dirt Devil, a recent industrial accident resulted in rapid response and immediate evacuations and triage being established almost before emergency responders arrived on scene.
Over the years, we've enjoyed a great relationship with the Emergency Services Group. As you might imagine, with an operation our size, there's a number of situations whereas they literally come to our rescue. Most recently, about 3 months ago, we had a significant explosion in one of our laboratories, and they were here almost immediately, and not only helped us manage through that immediate crisis, but also helped us manage the situation throughout the day to get our operation back. Yes, just a couple, 3 months ago, we sent our entire management staff from presidents down through the 4-hour armed assailant training that Emergency Services puts on, and that was time very well spent. Unfortunately, society has changed, and here in the small town of Anderson Society, we're not immune from that. Dealing with the possibility of workplace violence as well as an active shooter is something that we realized that we had to address and had fallen short on that in the past. Well, Taylor and his team came in and did a wonderful a class on that. It was, I guess you would term it as experiential learning, in that the participants were very involved in the class itself, but it not only taught us a lot of the fundamentals that we need to know, but also gave us a foundation to enhance our emergency action program for the company. It was quite an awakening experience. As I said, there was a lot of action involved in the program, and I think everyone really was sort of jarred into reality as to not only it could happen to us, but how poorly prepared we were. And I think more importantly, we realized that should that happen, our reaction would not have been what it should be to protect our employees. Totally recommend it, as I mentioned earlier. Prior to having them in to do the training with our managers, I had attended 3 different outside seminars on the subject of workplace violence, and none of them compared with the scope, the content, and the interaction with the instructors that the emergency services course did. So it was the best that I've seen, and I've seen several, and would certainly encourage any business citizens in Anderson County to take advantage of it.
There's still a long way to go, but these initial strives have already proven effective, and the long-term benefit will not be realized for many years. Our hope is that training will eventually become mandatory, beginning with school-age children, and, should an incident arise, the number and severity of casualties will be significantly decreased, if not eliminated altogether. With the addition of the AndersonStrong Initiative to the economic development arsenal, Anderson County will continue to be a destination for corporate relocation. We are AndersonStrong, and we're working hard to build a safer, better equipped, and more resilient community for all who live, work, and play in Anderson County.